So here we are. So Joe, thanks again. Joe Mulvey from, Joe, go ahead. Explain what you do, Joe. And what we're going to do, Joe, is get into what you guys do. Who do you help? What small business do you help? Small, large, whatever, what size? And then what are you seeing out there? So first, just kind of going what you do, what company you're with, and let's go forward.
Sure. Joe Mulvey from WPRI Media Group. We're located in East Providence, Rhode Island. I've been at the station for 7 years, helping small, big, mid-sized businesses reach out to new customers. Prior to this, I worked at another TV station, which we currently own, the CW affiliate. And prior to that, for 7 years, I worked at 2 different ad agencies, one outside Boston and one at Circuit City, their corporate office in Richmond, Virginia. So I've been doing this a long time. I've been through the advertising world on the advertising side on 9/11 and after 9/11, which was very difficult. The ad agency that I was working at pretty much immediately felt the impact of customers spending less. But what we're going through right now is a little different, Kyle. We sort of turned this economy off on our own. It's not something that it was done because there was a lack of demand or a lack of supply. It was just done to keep people safe. So right now, I think the shock for a lot of companies, probably like yourself too, is probably the shock of the situation is over. And now we're all just trying to figure out how we rebuild from here. And once the economy opens, hopefully next month, end of May, we're all going to hit the ground running.
I think the biggest shock, being a small business myself, right, and obviously we do stuff with you, so that's why I wanted you on here. I'm on the road show pretty frequently. So I think my biggest shock and my biggest worry or concern is the uncertainty. Like, there's so many inconsistent messages, whether it's I think for us, that's really the biggest shock. And on the advertising side of it, you can't really turn it off and on that fast because you don't want to be left behind when things back to normal. So really tough spot for small businesses to be in. Like, are you seeing people? I mean, I pulled back some of my print ad and a lot of stuff with TV and whatnot, but sure. I'm assuming you're seeing that across the board.
We've seen both. We understand the situation that everybody's in. And people have different reasons why they want to make their decisions. But there's still people that are still advertising because they feel the ratings have never been any higher. And in my world, it's all about ratings. The ratings drive the price. So if you have a show that's in a normal world, when we're not going through a pandemic, that is doing really well, that show is more in demand, so it's a little more expensive because you're reaching more eyeballs. But right now, there's a lot of people that they are scared, but the ones that can hang on and still keep their message out there a little bit, they're really going to come out of this in very good shape because the amount of exposure that they're getting right now, even though the businesses may not necessarily be open, or they're not seeing the traffic coming through immediately, they're not getting that instant gratification like they normally are. Once people are able to kind of go out and start shopping for cars and furniture, they're going to be in much better position because they're in front of these people. They're in front of the biggest audience that we've ever had. And but it is dictated by the current situation that each business is in. So there are some people that did have to pull off because they're worried about other things in their business, and we totally understand that. But they know that when they're ready, we're going to be ready as well, and we're going to come back with an opportunity that fits for them to help them get back on their feet again.
I think that's a good point. I don't think a lot of people think of that. If there ever is there ever a better time than today, or during the pandemic when people are locked in their homes, quarantined, can't really do anything besides watch TV, to really advertise on television. If anything, it's brand recognition, right? So if anything, if someone has the means and capacity, they can get their brand recognized through this 1 or 2 month period. just by pumping it down people's throat, basically just getting in front of people, staying in front of people, staying, right? So it's not going to translate into sales tomorrow, but what it does is it builds that brand recognition in the longer term. And hopefully some of your clients that see that, I mean, I know it's hard. It's harder with the smaller businesses because we still have to live off of this money, right? So we have to live as well as pay expenses, as well as pay staff. You know, some of the larger corporations or larger businesses that you have that have a stockpile of cash probably see this time as an opportunity to gain market share.
Most definitely, most definitely. You know, we try to work with people too. So if people want to hang on, there are certain payment plans that we have that we can, you know, bring to small businesses that still want to do something. And you don't necessarily have to be spending, you know, tens of $1,000s a month. I mean, we'll take what you have and we'll spend it the best way we can, and we'll show you how many people you're going to be delivering. We did a market survey about a month ago, and we asked people how their media usage has changed, and a majority of the people said that their TV usage increased by over 60%, and some of the other mediums like radio and satellite, they went up a little bit, but not as much. I mean, they were in the double digits, but you know, not even close to half of where we are. And it makes sense because people want to see the news. Local news is trusted. You know, Channel 12 is been a trusted station for a long time. We also have a Fox affiliate. So, I mean, people can turn on the TV, and if they want something local to find out what's going on other than the CNNs and the Fox Newses, they can find out what's happening in their backyard, where the testing's being done, what the governor's saying, what the new regulations are, what's open, what's closed. And it's great to have that media that we represent because, you know, everybody is looking for that information right now.
Yeah, and kind of leads into my next question. So obviously as a station, you guys understand the pandemic, you're on the front lines, you're putting the news out there, obviously that sort of stuff. Have you come up with any different pricing plans or anything during this period where you're like, hey, look, small businesses, medium businesses, I know we can't get you on the road show, I know we can't do this, but we have this option, almost like a Corona option for the next month or so, where we can put together something and get a lot of eyeballs on, you know, who you are, what you are, like what kind of things have you adapted and shifted, or is it too early for you to, was it too fast of a shift for you to even do that?
No, it's something that we've already started doing. I mean, we started, you know, making tweaks to people's campaigns right when this started, back in the middle of March. You know, we understand what's going on. We want our advertisers to stay with us. We've had to get creative in certain situations. But the beauty of WPRI Media Group is not only do we have Channel 12, but we have Fox, we have a CW, and we have a MyRI, which is an independent station which runs syndicated rerun programs, comedies. So we've got 4 TV stations with a lot of inventory. So we can really help anybody. And we have a website, WPRI.com, which, as you can imagine, in this digital world, the people that are consuming the video on that and people that are consuming the different pages, it's unbelievable. I mean, that's actually skyrocketing more than the TV side because, you know, people have their tablets and they've got their phones in their hand. But to answer your question, you know, we're trying to work with anybody. If people want to be out there, we're making it so they're able to be seen.
Yeah, no, and I think that's good. And I think, you know, when the last crisis hit, or any crisis hits, recession, depression, whatever that looks like, advertising always takes, you know, a big hit, right? Because a brunt of your clients can't afford it anymore. They're either out of business, right? Or they have to really buckle down so tight that it only becomes the essential things that get you know, kind of get allocated funds towards. So hopefully for all of us, this is transitory. We're out of this thing. I think you're right. Mid-May, probably June, everything's back to normal, somewhat normal. But I think mid-May, we start to really see the writing on the wall, and we kind of see the sun at the end of the tunnel, the light at the end of the tunnel. But I think in that sense, right, for you, you know, that's great that you're offering these options for people to kind of to stay in front of people. We have to. As a business, we have to. And I think with social media and Facebook and Instagram and all these different avenues, you know, I do a lot of that because it's the most inexpensive way to get in front of as many people as possible. But it's still, to your point, I didn't realize that television, you know, was up that dramatically, 60% which makes sense, but that's a huge number, right? That's a really big number to, for viewership and ratings and all that sort of stuff. So I think, would you agree that we're not, and maybe this is just the way I look at it, we're not in the midst of a depression slash recession right now, and if we do get out of this mid-May, things will go back to somewhat normal, and people will start to spend money again, and majority of restaurants will come back online and still survive this thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I think it's going to take time for some businesses to kind of get up and running and to be ready to serve their customers again. But one of the things that I'm spending more and more time with is that there are people that they have old TV commercials, or they have old messages, and right now that message isn't resonating with current society. So we have to rewrite those. We have to.
Right.
We're not talking about what we're going through. They need to tell people that they understand that when you walk into their car dealership or you walk into their restaurant or their business, they're going to be safe. They need to be talking about all the safety precautions that they're going to be taking, because no one's going to walk into a restaurant without knowing that they're safe.
Right.
I'm sure restaurants are probably going to have to cut some of their capacity for the short term, so people are getting their social distancing. Things aren't going to be the way they were a month and a half ago when we went into Home Depot.
Right.
Things are going to be different. People are going to be wearing masks, and we have to be ready for that. But there's going to be people that have never advertised before that they're going to have to advertise, because they need to let people know that they're open, and they need to let people know that, hey, you're safe coming here, and this is all the things that we're doing to keep you and your family safe. Once that happens, I think you're going to start to see these businesses picking up, and they're going to have no choice but to get the word out there, whether it be us or any other medium.
Yeah, I think that's all on that, right? So I think, once we come out of this and the switch is somewhat turned on, whether it's dimmed or it's turned on fully, I think at the end of the day, you're right. People will still wear masks. People will still have gloves on and be very cautious of that. But I think it's really important, Joe, as a society, that we don't make that the new normal. We don't take everything we've done for, hundreds and hundreds of years and we just say we throw it out the window and now we have to walk around with a mask. I think that, and that now we can't go to restaurants and we can't go to, out to eat and have a birthday party. Like that's part of living. If we eliminate that and we throw that out the window, we all become scared to even live, which is a trickle down to everything that we do. No matter what business you're in, it's going to impact. So leadership definitely has to try to get back from a new normal to the old normal in a relatively short period of time, within a 6 to 12 month period, because otherwise you're scaring people so much, you're scaring a portion of your economy away. And I think that's important that we, I hopefully, like you said, we have the mask, but that goes away and turns into regular everyday life. Yep,
and I think in time it will.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So I mean, with that, I want to keep these short. I'm doing 2 or 3 a week, and
sure.
You've been great. And I think the good thing is you bring a total different aspect, because you guys, some of the players, and I don't know if you can mention this, but who are some of your players that you deal with? You deal with real major Rhode Island-based or New England-based institutions that advertise with you guys. So your boots are on the ground. Right?
Yes.
I don't know if you can mention who they are, but if you can, let people know who you're dealing with to help you guys out.
Yep. Well, one of my most important customers is Seyboth Realty Keller Williams. So I mean, we're I work with the casinos. I work with the theaters. A lot of the big autos I work with at a national level and a local level. I'm walking into businesses, not right now, but I'm texting with them and I'm talking with them on the phone. But I know what they're going through right now. I know what they were going through before. I know what the challenges were. So I'm just hoping to take my experience over the years and just try to talk to them and give them guidance when they're ready to get the word out there. And if they ever need anything from me, like you know where to find me. It's a partnership, and it's something where it has to make sense on both sides. And right now is a really challenging time for them. And as a station, we're really sensitive to that. But when we turn the corner and we get out of this, there's going to be a lot of great options at the station, not only on Channel 12, the TV station, and the other stations, but also our website, because we're going to have a lot of inventory, because the more people that are coming to us, we need to let people know what's going on out there in the market and who's open, who's not. And, we try to take care of everybody as much as we can.
Yeah, and I'll give you praises, because obviously we've done stuff together for a number of years now. You guys have a good program for a small business to get in front of eyeballs, right? So for me, I've worked with you guys in conjunction with the Roadshow, and I find that the Roadshow has been helpful because it hits a demographic that maybe I don't normally hit. They may not be the folks on social. It may be, a different demographic that's not in my, wheelhouse. But hey, let me get in front of them and explain who I am, what I do, and show what I'm all about, right? So for me, as time goes on, and I'm going to be honest, right? When you first start with that, it's a little nerve-wracking. If you're not used to being on TV, it can be hard, and it takes practice, and finally getting to a point where I feel somewhat comfortable. But guess what? You have to be uncomfortable to be successful. And I thank you for that and allowing me to be in that position, because you kind of pushed my limit a little bit. And now it's put me in a position where I'm okay doing this stuff with you. Normally I would be nervous and not understand, what to do next. But I thank you for that. I applaud you for that. And, I just, again, want to keep this short and sweet. So thank you for coming on and giving your time. I hope your family stays healthy and stays well. And if you need anything in this time, let me know. And if you want to blast your phone number, email, whatever that looks like, feel free to plug it now.
Sure. My email is jmulvey, JMULVEY @WPRI.com. And my cell phone number is 508-566-0494. If anyone ever has any questions, they can reach out to me either way. And, I'd love to help them out. And Kyle, you do the same. Take care of those kids. Take care of Sarah. And hopefully we see each other in person really soon.
Sounds good, guys. You guys everyone have a wonderful day. Joe, I'll talk to you soon. And thank you so much for coming on.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Take care. Bye-bye.